Ooh, I've been waiting for this one. Wait a minute. Good Lord! Hello everyone! Welcome to another edition of Godzilla Showcase. It's Christmas time. By the time this video goes up, it'll be after Christmas. But Merry Christmas anyway. And today is my treat, because I finally get to talk about another Hiya figure. Not just one Hiya figure, but two Hiya figures. The audacity! Pretty much, yeah, both of the figures were at the exact same time, and they were tied together, so I thought I would talk about both of them. We'll start with Godzilla 1991. I'm going to have fun talking about this. We got a 360 of the figure, and talk about this version of Godzilla. Now, shall we? This is Heisei Godzilla. This is his appearance in specifically Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah from 1991, which is a movie I love. In general, the Heisei era is my absolute favorite era of Godzilla movies. This one in particular is one of my absolute favorites. It's not my favorite Heisei film. I will say there's probably like two I'd probably put above it, but it's easy in my top three. It's probably my top 10 favorite Godzilla movies of all time as well. It's just balls to the wall insane. It has time travel. It has Godzilla fighting Ghidorah, and it's a direct sequel to the previous film, which was Biollante, and also the first, I should say, Godzilla film that wasn't released in America for a very, very, very long time. It did have, randomly, it was released in the UK on VHS, but I'm willing to track that down. I want to know everything I can about the fact that of all movies, it's this that was released. But anyway, this was the first of that trend where they weren't released in America. They were probably released in other countries. Reasons just being Godzilla wasn't doing well. The previous film didn't really do that great. So, yeah, why not? Why bother? Which is just a shame for those who really like Godzilla and they don't get to see this film until much later. Basically, we have an idea of Godzilla before I move on to his nemesis in the movie. Yes, spoiler alert, is Ghidorah. I mean, anybody can guess that. This carries up immediately after where Godzilla left in the last film. He's been injected with a poison, and he's just laying about, pretty much neutralized. Future people, or people from the future, come back in time and warn that Godzilla will become more powerful and destroy Tokyo. So their master plan is to go back in time to where Godzilla was originally, as a Godzillasaurus, and erase him from history. Please stay with me. This film's insane, but it's great. They supposedly erase him. Well, actually, they move that Godzilla, in theory erasing him, but they come back to the present day, and he's still there. He hasn't left. That's when the inevitability line comes in. One of my favorite moments in the Godzilla movie is when the Futurans, I always call them, I don't know if that's what they're called, but to me they're the Futurans, sit there and realize, look like English people, but with Japanese voices. Looks really funny. They're saying, how the hell is he still about? And it's like, well, I guess he's inevitable. Which, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Godzilla's also really fun in this movie. When he actually does eventually show up, he kicks the shit out of Ghidorah and then goes on an absolute rampage. One of my absolute favorites in the franchise. Leading to his final fight with Mecha King Ghidorah, falling in the water with him, and being okay. He's the only one who comes out of that alright. I adore this movie. I also really like this design of Godzilla. It's my favorite design of Heisei Godzilla. And I can't wait to talk more about this figure, but we're going to move on to the other one. Yeah, that wasn't going to work. I tried the wee spinny thing, but it wasn't going to work, and you can probably guess why. This is the size of him. This is Hiya Toys, King Ghidorah from 1991. Whoo boy. We got to talk about Ghidorah after that movie. So Ghidorah's role is kind of funny. This is his first appearance since the Showa era. His last appearance was in Godzilla vs. Gigan, which, yeah, I mean, it's Godzilla vs. Gigan. A lot of stock footage, some new scenes with a minute, but overall, he's just sort of there. He's not even the center focus of that movie anyway. But basically, this was his sort of reboot. This is to bring him into a new era. And Ghidorah's now the guy completely different backstory. Instead of being like a weird space dragon, he's a creature from the future. These free creatures called Ghidorahs, who the Futurans, whenever they were erasing Godzilla from existence, left in the past to mutate when the atomic bombs go off to make King Ghidorah. They plan to control Ghidorah. This is the big twist of the movie, was that Tokyo was never going to be destroyed. No, Japan was going to become a big problem, a big superpower. They didn't like that. So resistance goes back in time to stop them by creating a giant monster and killing hundreds, if not millions. Yep, freedom fighters for you, everybody. But I really like Ghidorah's design in this movie. I've always sort of found Ghidorah a weird monster overall, and how I feel about him. I feel like most of his films, he's there, destroys a few things, and then gets his ass kicked, which is very frequent. It's probably why I actually kind of really like the way he's handled in Killing the Monsters, honestly, more than these other ones. But I really like his design. I really love the Heisei design in particular. It's a really nice looking, cool dragon thing. This has sort of become the Godzilla design. I should mention it's never really been his sort of default design. There are more later Heisei designs for Godzilla 90s, but this is sort of became like a standard Ghidorah design. He is usually seen in this look. This is what they used as an influence for the Atari trilogy, if you will. This, and I think the PS4 game as well has this design. He's also in Super Godzilla because that was more relevant when that came out. I actually don't know if it's in Daikaiju or Kaiju Daikisen. I don't think it's in Kaiju Daikisen. I think it's Showa actually, not. I can't tell you, but yeah. That's enough of this. Time to talk about the figures in detail. So, now that I've had these figures in my hand for a wee bit, I can say I am very impressed. The Godzilla is very nice, I will say that. It is a very nice Godzilla figure. Detailing wise though, it's much more, I want to see, like if you can tell by his face, I feel it's much more like I want to say cartoony look, but I don't know if that's even the right word for it. It's definitely not basing itself entirely off of the look of the suit, unlike what the SH did, which was more of a one-to-one with the suit. This feels more like a, what's the best way to explain it? Like a toy version of it. I mean, it is a toy version of it, but you know what I mean. I guess. Shut up if you don't. In fact, actually, what it makes me think of is NECA. It reminds me a lot of NECA, which it actually makes me think a lot of the *89 Godzilla NECA figure, which was probably one of their better ones. I was never particularly like a big fan of NECA figures, to be honest. I just never really got along with them. But this is that if it actually had good articulation. So let's look at the articulation, shall we? Because it's a lot of it. It's very impressive. Maybe that's why it got delayed so much. Sorry. First off, the mouth does open. It only opens that much, though. It's not like a lot. So yeah. Head can look around like that. I hate doing that. Can actually look down decently far and a decent bit up as well. Yeah, very nice. I'm just gonna go that far. A wee bit of a swivel. There's I think that might, is that a double joint? I think that's double jointed actually. It looks it. Yeah. Wrists, swivels, up and down, in motion, body moves. Very nice. Legs move out that far. Unlike NECA, this actually can go down. His legs can move, so you can have dog reaction. Feet, swivel, la la la, and rotation. It's a really nice range of articulation. There's one thing I've not talked about, and it's the tail. I'm really impressed with this tail. It's individually jointed. At least I think so. It looks like it. Yeah, I think it actually is. Until you get to like this, but I think it is. The range of movement is insane. Like, this is insane how good this is. Which I thought, like, if I remember rightly, the SH Godzilla 2000 had really good, like, tail, like, movement and motion. But this is, wow, this is really good. It does look a wee bit goofy whenever you do stuff like that. But here you can recreate some things, I guess. You can make them. You can imagine if they did like Shin Godzilla or something like that, and how far that articulation would go. That'd be nuts, wouldn't it? As for Ghidorah, not nearly as much. I dare not move him a lot, to be honest, but he's in theory can do that. Swivel a wee bit at the leg, or the feet. Wings, I think there's like slight movement with them. I'm not risking these because if there's one thing I remember from Ghidorah is that their wings are very fragile. Nice tail articulation, nice movement in the tails. Individually, they joined it in the same vein as I know my camera. The Godzilla. The head is where it shines, though. The articulation for the head is very good. Kind of looking all over the place, actually. Like, what else would you want from a Ghidorah toy? You can make it look around like that. So goofy and silly. As for detailing, kind of in a similar vein, but I just sort of feel like it does look a little bit more like a detailed version of the suit. I really like his expression, actually. There's like a smirk to him. There's like a weird smirk that Ghidorah has. And my camera's shaking like mad. And he just looks really, really nice. Honestly, I really like the look of him. I actually probably would say I like this more than what like the SH version was. Which at some point I should probably do that comparison, shouldn't I? Do I feel like bringing it down? That's the question. Yeah, this is a really nice figure. I'm really liking this Ghidorah. I'm really liking both of these, actually. They're both insanely nice. The thing is, though, because Ghidorah, they both came in the same box. I kind of want to show this. They both came in the same box. Alright. And the Ghidorah's massive. The box was also massive. In fact, actually, as we move on to the next bit, I will show that box. Yeah, you only can imagine what it was like grabbing that thing. Anyway, comparison time, and there's one comparison I want to make for both of these figures, and it's the SH versions. So, first we have Godzilla. We have the SH Monster Arts Godzilla, 1991. I think the first thing you can notice is the size. Sizing is definitely on the highest side. Detailing, though, is definitely more on the side of SH, I will say. I feel like that detailing is much better on this one. Also, I think this is the 91 version. It might be 89. They look very similar. That was out over my collection, so I don't know. Articulation was definitely on the highest side as well. Well, this one doesn't have as much in terms of articulation, but to be fair, I like the standard poses and all this sort of stuff. I'm very big in the standard posing for figures. And also prices on this side. They're pretty much, I think, in every degree, minus like detailing Hiya is easily better for like a casual like person, I'd say. If you don't care as much about the detailing, and you know what, even fuck it. Doesn't even matter. I think Hiya do win this outright. Now, I will be honest, whenever I do think Hiya does better than SH, this one was quite expensive, this one was decently cheap. Well, it was nearly half the price of it. So I'm going to praise him for that alone, but also you didn't release it in time, or it took you ages to release it, so yeah, you docked points for that. But these are both really nice figures, but it's just, Hiya just seemed to be outright better overall. Time for Ghidorah. And in this edition of This Fucker Is Too Big For My Setup, it's his comparison, the SH King Ghidorah. This was one of the earlier ones, you can definitely tell. The detailing is nowhere near as good. And also he's a wee bit loose. So basically, this is also expensive, but this is even more expensive nowadays because it's older. And old figures are very expensive, children. But if you want to sell your kidney, what would you get? A figure that I think is relatively good. I like, but I just don't think it's as good. Obviously, this is a more recent figure. They should be better, shouldn't they? I don't know why I did that pause. But yeah, sizing's definitely on this one side as well. Hiya figures just seem to be bigger. Like, just overall, in particular against the older SHs. But even that one that I showed earlier wasn't that old. That was a relatively more recent SH, and it was towering over it. I definitely think detailing, I feel everything's on the side of Hiya for this one, because this is an older one. It looks like, do you know what it kind of looks like to me? What was that meme of be careful who you make fun of in school? Because this is like the skinny runt version, and this is what he turns out to be. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Up for this, though, it did come with accessories. They came with like gravity beams and all that sort of stuff. I think that's Ghidorah's beam, isn't it? If I'm not wrong, I can't remember. Lightning. I'll just say lightning. This one doesn't. This one comes with nothing. But I guess you could just take those effect pieces and give it to him. I'm not going to do that because I don't even know where that box is right now, and I'm not going to go grab it. I think it might be outside. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting it then. But these are the two figures side by side. This is them looking at each other. These are insane. I'm really happy with these. I'm happy to own this one, actually. I didn't have this when it first came out. Obviously, if I did, it would be gone. But, yeah. Anyway, let's go. And because I like to bring Bandai into this, and also like to show off old figures that I own, and this one I'd show, this old 90s Bandai Godzilla based on the 91 Godzilla. This is my only 91 Godzilla for ages, actually. I really like him. I really do, even though he's very, very limited and, detailing wise, he's non-existent, actually. But I really like him. He's also bigger. He's probably not as detailed, but I like him nonetheless. And in my never-ending quest to promote Godzilla and King Ghidorah, please watch the latest episode. Here's Ghidorah. I mean, it's not much of a comparison, but it was funny nonetheless. Anyway, Jet, what do you think of these figures? You're going to approve them, obviously, but please tell us. Completely forgot to mention that this Godzilla actually comes with accessories. Yeah, it comes with two little pairs of hands. I really struggled to get them on, so that's why they weren't on. Anyway, so final thoughts. I'm very happy about these figures. I felt, whenever I had the Shimo, I thought it was good, but it was just okay. I wasn't that thrilled by it. I really like these ones. Like, honestly. I still have not seen my new Empire figures. My patience is wearing thin with them, actually. Neither my Evolved Godzilla nor my Kong have arrived, or have I got any notion that they're on their way. But anyway, these also have that problem over delayed constantly, but now they're in my hands, and I'm very happy with both of these figures. I've been waiting these. I think that was before 2 Years in the Megalon. I wanted to make a video on these before 2 Years in the Megalon came out, but that wasn't going to happen. Anyway, final thoughts overall. Very happy with both of them. I really like this Godzilla figure. This is a really nice Godzilla. This Ghidorah is even better. And I'm not even kidding, if I was to have redone that top 10 Godzilla figures list, this could have been in a shout. I'm not kidding. This probably could have been in a shout. Where, I don't know. There was only, like, I think Kaiser was the only Ghidorah on there. That's a hard act to follow, but still. Overall, pricing wise, this is £100, and I feel like if it was SH, it would have been £200, so I can't complain about that. This was only about 50, so £150 overall for both figures. Granted, yeah, it's £150 for both figures. Neither of them come with accessories, except for him with interchangeable hands. So I guess it depends on your definition of value. My definition of value is I will waste money on it if Godzilla is right there in front of me. So, yeah. I mean, for God's sake, I've literally spent £99 on a fucking Storm Collectibles Iori, so I really can't say much. But yeah, really happy with these figures. Overall, very, very good. I would recommend them, actually, if you have space for both of them, or you just want to get one, go ahead, get them. They're very good. And that'll be us for now with Godzilla Showcase. Please, like, subscribe, comment, I think favorite, still a thing, I don't know, I'm an old man. Please check out the Godzilla and King Ghidorah series. In fact, that might actually have a bit of an update at the end of that. But yeah, please watch those. Please watch my previous Godzilla showcases. That's all for now. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Shut the Fuck Up Day. Happy Boxing Day. In fact, Happy New Year. Happy everything. Everybody's happy. I'll be out for now. Thank you, God bless, and good night.